Hello, YouTube. How the heck are you guys doing today? It is TC2 back at it again with another video, and today I have a little story of you guys about the time I got my longboard stolen by a crazy fuck. I don't know how many of you guys longboard or how many of you even know what that is, but it's basically like skateboarding, except it's a lot easier to go down hills, but there's not as many tricks as you can do on a longboard. At least I don't think there is. I'm not too sure about that though. But it's something I really like to do. It's something I like to do either alone or with my friends, and you can just go kind of cruising on them, and they're hella fun. But this happened to me a couple summers ago, about 3 or 4 summers ago. I believe I was still in high school at the time. But one summer day, I was just cruising down the street with about 2 of my friends or so. We were just cruising downtown, and before I get into the story, where I live, I don't live in a very big town. It's a pretty small town, so downtown wasn't very populated. It wasn't very busy at all, and I actually really liked that. But anyway, we were cruising, and we saw this guy biking, and he looked like one of those extreme bicyclists. Like, he had on like the freaking spandex. He had on like the helmet. This motherfucker was looking like Lance Armstrong. He wasn't here to fuck around. He was here to do some serious bicycling. But anyway, he stops, right? And he yells at me, "Hey kid, I got a question for you." And we all stop, and I asked him, "Hey man, what's your question?" And he asked me, "Can you fucking slalom?" And now, back then I was a bit of a noob when it came to longboarding. I didn't know what a slalom was. I actually just got my longboard like a week prior to this, so I had no idea what a slalom was. I wasn't even that great at longboarding at this time, and so when he asked me that, me and my friends were just scratching our heads because we had no idea what that meant. And then he asked us again, man. He's like, "Hey man, can you fucking slalom?" And I respond to him like, "Hey man, I'm actually pretty new to longboarding, but the reason I did get a longboard was because I like to cruise around with my friends, and I just think it's really, really fun." And he's like, "Oh man, fuck off." But then he asks like to see the design on the bottom of the board, because you know how they always have the designs on the bottoms of the board. So I let him see that. I thought it was a pretty nice looking design, so I let him see it, and I kind of gave it to him to let him see it and stuff. And I think you guys can tell where this is going. I didn't think too much of it. I just thought he wanted to see it for a little bit, and then he would give it back. But literally what happens is he has the board, right? And he literally like flicks me off and goes, "Fuck off." And then he just bolts down the sidewalk on his bicycle. And the first thing I thought to do was to just chase after him as fast as I can. And I assume his bike was a little bit faster than the normal bike because he did like an extreme bicycle enthusiast. And so I'm hauling ass, like I'm about to trip over my own feet. I was just going that fast, and I managed to snatch my board back. But then I proceeded to throw my board backwards as much as I could towards my friends, and then I ended up tripping. I just face planted onto the pavement pretty hard. And the guy, he turns around, he looks at me, and I put my face up. I flick him off because, I'm pretty pissed at him. He tried to steal my board, right? But yeah, I flick him off, and he sees that my friends are pretty close behind me, and, I think he came to his senses, realizing he doesn't want to fuck with like 3 high school kids, because he's kind of outnumbered. It's just him, and he wasn't a bigger guy either. He was, I don't know, he was probably about 5'9", 5'11" or so. He looked like he was kind of skinny, so he wasn't the biggest guy ever. But yeah, he looked at us, and he was kind of outnumbered, so then he just left, and I ended up only getting a couple scratches. I wasn't even very banged up at all. And obviously I don't know why he tried to steal my board. Probably because I couldn't fucking slalom. Maybe he wanted to use it to fucking slalom. Fuck knows. But I was just glad to get my board back, honestly, because back in the day, that shit was my life. I used to ride that thing every day, multiple times a day. But yeah, that's that little charming story. Now I hope you all enjoyed that little story of mine. Like this video if you did enjoy, and subscribe if you are new and if you enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Peace out, everybody.